What's up, peeps? We're going to have the Queens Takeover Podcast on my page live tonight. We tried to go live for the last 12 minutes. It would not let us do it. I don't know what's going on with our platform, with Facebook. So we're just going to do the Queens Takeover Podcast live here this way tonight. So give us just a moment. The ladies are gonna pop in just a minute. And one of the topics we're talking about tonight is, has body positivity gone too far? We're talking about that. We're talking about a whole bunch of other good stuff tonight. So you're gonna want to stay tuned. We apologize. We are we're late, but we're excited about tonight's show. So if you are excited about tonight's show, say something in the comments, say hello. Let us know that you are watching so we can say hello back to you. And again, we do apologize, but we're going to have a wonderful show. All right, Nicole, I'm going to bring you on. Send an invite. I just sent you an invite. And waiting to CC. It says it is adding Nicole. If you are watching, say hello so we can say hello back. Hey, Coley Cole.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Barely. I know that's what happens when you add people to the live. It gets jicky. But if you could turn your volume up, that would be fantabulous.
What about now?
Very, very low.
It's all the way up.
And you were sideways, Pumpkin.
I know. I'm trying to fix.
Let me see if I can do the invite to. I don't even know if I'm doing this right. Guest request allow the guest. Okay, so I'm going to send an invite to Cierra right now. Right there. I don't know if she's on. If she's not on, I don't know what happens to her, but I just sent it to her. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I see Keita. Hey, Keita.
Keita, what? Keita who?
Keita, do me a favor. Nicole is going to say something. Talk for a little bit, Nicole. Tell me, can you hear her loudly, or if it's just me on the struggle?
That's Sierra.
There is CC. I sent you an invite, baby.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear. Right, but what about Nicole? Can you hear Nicole?
Can you hear me, Miss Pratt?
Because I can barely hear her, Keita. So we want to know, can you hear Nicole? Talk, Nicole.
Hey, will this go on my page because I'm joining your live?
You can share it. You should be able to share it onto your page right now.
Let me
see, did you get the invite? I can hear both of y'all well. So she can hear you well. So as long as they can hear you, that's good.
Okay.
It won't let me send another invite, see, because I've already sent it.
That's just, I wonder if I can send one. Hold on. Let's see.
Thank y'all for being patient. Please excuse us because I know y'all were looking at 7.
Oh man, it was asking me
whatever's going on with Facebook.
It's saying send a joint. No, it's asking to join Nikki Johnson in the live. Send request. Nope.
Yeah, I sent it to her.
How is it that people be doing it on live and they be having more than 2 people on here?
What?
I said, how is it that people be doing live, but they have more than 2 people on here?
They can. She just has to answer it. I don't know. It won't let me resend it just yet. But once she answers it, she'll be able to join. Hey y'all, hey.
Hey Sierra, just scroll down in your in the comments. You should see your oh, it's time for me to refresh. I'm sorry. Got distracted to the roots, girl. But
not the baby hairs.
Girl, yeah. It's time to about a month old. Oh, no, I can't look down in the camera, honey. I'm gonna take these things out tonight.
I ain't doing you right now. I'm not gonna do you. I am not gonna do you.
Hey Sierra, just scroll down.
You sound really good on here. Hey
Sierra, just scroll down.
You sound really good on here. Okay, Okay, so we'll wait on our other queen to join. So tonight, y'all, we have some great topics for you. We're going to be talking about Pastor Whitehead. Some of y'all remember him as the pastor that was robbed in New York, putting his hands on one of the women in the church. We're going to be talking about has positivity, body positivity gone too far? We are talking about Black love and how to hold on to hope for Black love when so many people and couples are breaking up and divorcing.
Yes.
We're talking about Black athletes and how they are treated absolutely different from their white counterparts. We're talking about that and so many other things tonight. William, can you let us know what's going on with C? I don't see any comments from her, and I want to know if she got the invite that I sent. So we have a lot of good topics, and hopefully we get this together because tonight we're going to actually read our letters to our younger selves that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. So we have an amazing show for you guys tonight.
Yeah, that letter thing. Hello. That letter
Miss
thing.
Martha.
I read that letter over today and I still got stuck. I was like, oh my goodness.
It's powerful.
It is.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I've rewritten mine a few times because them letters, the letters to your younger self get deep. They get real deep and they get deep. They take you to some spaces and some places.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're gonna read those tonight. We're gonna give her a few more minutes because we definitely want the queen to join in, and then we'll get started. Hey. Remember, y'all know how we do. If you say something, we'll know that you're here. So say something in the comments so we can say something back. We thank y'all so much for watching. We love our QT fam. Y'all are so faithful. Thank you for finding us here because I know some of y'all my brother was on the wrong live from last week, brother. I hope you find this one. He's on the one from last week sending me comments and stuff. But thank y'all so much. And I got your messages. We are on live. So
he said she needs another one.
She needs another one. Let me see if it'll let me resend it. It will not. But you know what, William? Let me send it to yours. And you switch phones with your wife so she can join from yours. There we go. Sent. So, William, I'm here and accept the invitation. Oh, it doesn't tell me that you're here, though. So I just sent one to your husband. See if he can accept it, and if so, y'all just swap devices and jump on, because it's not showing me that it's adding you, even though it says now it's telling me to bring Ashley on. That's crazy. Won't let me tell me to bring C on. You sent but doesn't let me join. Okay. The devil is two liars. Here we go. C, I got you. It's finally let me bring you on. My Lanta.
It says she's joining.
Let me tell y'all what y'all don't know. We had a powerful prayer right before it was time for us to go live. And coincidentally, we couldn't go live the way we wanted to. That's how powerful that prayer was, but also how powerful tonight's show is going to be. Welcome, C. We're glad you are on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it worked. It worked on my phone, but it didn't work on my computer. So
that's okay. You on? So welcome to the Queens Takeover. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. We're gonna skip the self-care and all of that we would normally do. Hey Ray. Hey Anna Lane. Thank y'all for finding us here. So sorry. We don't know what's going on with Facebook, but it's all good. Let's go ahead and hit our first topic up. I'm sorry I can't show y'all the beautiful graphic that I created for it, but you want me to introduce this thing?
Yeah, do it.
All righty. Our first topic tonight was actually your topic that you brought up, Nicole. African-American professional athletes are always held at a different standard than their white counterparts, paying higher fines, unfair treatment, jail time, and harsher treatments. Tell us why you wanted to talk about this tonight. Hey, King.
Well, I had been watching sports, and of course, you know how they made the big spectacle of the Coach Boston. That's all I'm going, because I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the Boston head coach. And in the same sense, it's like they brushed that Brent Favre was being fraudulent out here in these streets.
Yeah.
And they were like, they was down in my man. Like, I don't condone cheating, but come on, cheating is cheating. People cheat every day. Regardless if it's in a relationship, they cheat on the taxes, they just cheat. So, but they just drug my dude, still dragging him. They even wanted to go to her, kneel on, and drag her for staying or whatever decision she decided to make with him and stuff. But they never spoke about Brent Farr being fraudulent about the system after you done made all this money. And another one was I brought up because I was listening to a podcast and they were saying about Draymond Green. He's a if I'm not mistaken, he plays for the Warriors, and he they always flag him regardless of whatever he does. He's red flagged as a troubled athlete. And we know Antonio Brown. He was, they uplifted him when he was quote unquote helping the team. But then when he started acting out and standing up for himself and some of the other stuff that, well, don't get me wrong, he was being a jerk too. But they always downplay them and like kick them to the curb. But the ones that's actually out here committing serious crimes, they don't do nothing to them. And I just think like the quarterback that was for Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger, he had a whole bunch of sexual assaults, but they still allowed him to play. The other guy, I can't remember his name, he had sexual misconduct with his therapist, physical therapist, and they drugged that joker under the sun. And you really don't want to make it a racial thing, but it is. I mean, technically, it's a racial thing. Like, it's like it starts even back in college or high school. All our African American athletes, we use them. They use them until they didn't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Because like over here, North Carolina, Tar Heels, their football players, they had one of the biggest scandals where these guys had graduated from college and they didn't even make the grades. But because some went off to be pro, some didn't, now you want to throw them in the dirt. And I just think that is unfair. And it's happening a lot. And I think now is the time, like, some of the football players need to come together and stand up and say, hey, we're valuable too. Yeah, we might go out here and do stuff, but the same way you stand and defend the Caucasians or whatever groups they are, you need to stand up for me too. Because what happened to innocent to proven guilty? They get one charge and you're off the team. You get suspended. You get back. Like, it's like we don't need you no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring that into the forefront because it's happening. And then like with the Draymond Green, yes, he's a jerk. Don't get me wrong. But like when he gets into an altercation with people, like with him, they were saying that one of the I don't want to say he a water boy, but somebody on the team released him acting out at practice. That was at practice. He wasn't out in society. That part should have stayed in-house. But because he already has this target on his back that he's a jerk, well, let's show you how big of a jerk he is, because when all's said and done, we're going to say XYZ, this is why he displayed this kind of, aggression. This is why we don't need them, or this is why we trade them, or this is why we cut their money.
Yeah.
When Brent Farr, he was out here and he still getting retirement money, and you done cheated the system. But ain't nobody said anything about that. Ain't no charges been brought up. You know what I'm saying? That's a federal offense. So that's why I wanted to speak about that.
William said that part when you started talking. And Brandon, we got your message. He said he's having some connection problems, but he's going to try to watch as long as he can. Steve, what are your thoughts on it?
She said a lot, so I'm like, ditto. She said a lot. I just think it's unfair. It's always been unfair. That's the story of our lives, and of our lineage. It's always been unfair. But I think the standards, they need to set standards and hold them accountable, whoever it is, and stick with it. I don't care what hue you are, other than diaspora. You need to be held accountable, and giving them a pass or a pat on the back for things that they do. It's proven that they do it. It's all out there for all of us to see. But of course, we're looked as the savages, the bad people. Like you're saying, what's his name? Not Ocho Cinco. That's different. No, not him. Mm-mm. They remind me of each other, but that's not the person we talk about. What's his name? With the hair, and you said his name earlier. The football player. What's his name?
Who?
You said it earlier. He has
Antonio Brown.
That's his name. They rooted for him and cheered for him, and I mean, love that man. But as soon as he started showing some holes in his personality and character, they're just like, oh no, throw him away. Just throw him away. And don't have a voice like Kaepernick. Don't have a voice. Hey, Carla. They just want to use your body, use you up, hush up, and get through it. And that's not fair. It's not. It's just not. And I hate it. I really do, because a lot of great men that I know that play professional football, that I know personally, have done so many great things for the community. No matter if they've had some pitfalls while they're an NFL player or not, they're still good people. They just need some direction and some love, but they just want to pin them in a character or a stereotype that they keep running, and that's not truly who these people are. So it sucks, and I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. That's all I got to say. She said it all.
Hear y'all. I'm sorry.
You can barely hear me?
I can barely. No, it's not that you are like on here. I can hear you fine. Here, I can barely hear you. So I'm being still so I can hear. My refrigerator kicked in real loud, so I really can't hear you now. So yeah, go ahead.
That's it. That's all I had to say. It's just not fair. It's not right.
I'm gonna say, my baby sister's watching now. Hey boo, I'm gonna say this. King and I had an argument about this one time on our podcast, because I made the statement that I wished all African-American athletes, I don't care what sport you play, if they all banded together for higher pay, to have a lot of these rules and stuff change, to have things that apply to everybody but Black people, to fix some stuff. If they all banded together to do it, change would happen. Of course, he disagreed with that. He said it would never happen and change wouldn't happen. But I'm sorry, if every Black athlete walked away from their sport, I don't know how many people you're gonna have left playing. I'm gonna say that. I'm not saying that they are only the best players, but I will say they're the majority of the players. And one thing I cannot stand is when I'm watching a game or watching a Super Bowl and the MVP is never one of us. But we're the ones out there running balls and being tackled and getting concussions and body parts broken and things. But we never get to be the MVP. No. I put it out there, I did. The other thing would be is, we get used a lot. We get blamed a lot. We get used a lot. And when they don't need you anymore, when you no longer, because you done broke some, sprained some, however, when you making them mad money, you the best thing ever till the moment you mess up. And the thing about it is, hey Ingrid, they should also advocate for themselves. That's exactly what I just said. You also have to remember that you are getting young children from poor neighborhoods. Some have never had fathers. Some do. I'm not saying everybody is fatherless, but you're getting them from some real harsh environments sometimes, taking them up off the street, You putting balls in their hands for whatever the sport is. You waving money and cars and women and stuff in front of them. And they're supposed to automatically become men because you put millions in their pocket. They're supposed to automatically know how to handle their money, know how to be in relationships, especially when you've dangled women in front of them. Now they got a woman or a wife. Like, where's the counseling? Where's the accountability where we're going to help you be stand-up men? Why is it you mess up, we're throwing you away, we're throwing the book at you, but everybody else gets those soft places to land? So I agree that they don't get the same thing as the white counterparts.
No.
Oh, I wish it were that they did, but I'm gonna go back to my statement and I'm gonna stand on it. If they all get it together, if they all pull together and all of them did a walkout, I don't care what sport you in, bump them fines. If y'all all banded together, there will be some change that will happen, because what game can be played if you all walked away? They can't play with 4 or 5. Okay, I'm done. Hey Pam, let me look at some of these comments we got coming in, because y'all, I cannot see them from there. So Ingrid did say they should advocate for themselves like a union. My sister says, shut up and dribble. She said, hey back. We had some hey queens come in. So yeah, so those are our thoughts. Keita says she agrees. She agrees. Those are our thoughts about it. And I hate that for our men, because for a lot of them, that ball or that sport, they use that to get their family and take care of their mamas and get them out of these situations in the neighborhoods and to do better for their families. So it's almost if you don't know that you can have better, this is better. But I got to give it to people like Magic Johnson and all of them who was like, wait a minute, I got to start doing better with my money. I got to start getting some good people behind me. I need some counselors. I need some people speaking into my life. And now they speaking to these young athletes and to people's lives as well. So those are my thoughts on it. Those are my thoughts. Anything else, ladies, before we go into the next one?
Nope.
So she says, I'm trying to get to yours. It starts at, hold on, I'm gonna get to your comment, Ingrid. It starts at Pop Warner, middle school, high school, and college level. Yeah, but you know, like my homegirl, her sons, they've been watching him since he was in middle school. And they really wanted him to come to their colleges. And my hope was that they weren't going to tempt him with the wrong thing just to get him there. Anyway.
Well, see, now you know that they can get endorsements straight out of high school. And that is what I think, okay, because LeBron James' son this week just actually got endorsed. It was him and 3 other high school kids and some kids from college. They got endorsed by Nike.
Yeah, that's right.
And look at okay, so like I love Beyonce, and well, I don't love him. He's arrogant, but I like him. I like what he's doing for HBC, Aggie Pride, but I'm just saying I like what he's doing for HBC schools. His arrogance is what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? We understand your prime time and this and that, but he's also teaching these kids, my opinion, to be just as arrogant, because his son, he's a great football player, but the shine whenever Jackson play, the shine always goes to his son. It's other kids on that team, not just his son. And dude, you already got a head start. Allow, let it be fair. But again, the media makes it what it is. And then they bribe kids with cars and endorsements, and I don't think that they're taught how to be humble. I think they lack being humble. Like, yeah, God gave me this talent, and it could take me far. But then when they get there, when they get on that level, is when they make me sick. Because this is what I tell people when they ask me about sports. Like, I love sport. I used to love football, but I used to love watching college ball, because those young fellas were hungry then to get to the NFL, and they knew it was only a limit of space that they can get to. Now you're giving them what the NFL or NBA is giving them. So it's like, hey, I can do this, because why? The Lakers is looking at me, the Patriots are looking at me, the Giants, somebody's looking at me. And if I get that endorsement, hey, I ain't gotta make the grade. I'm already there. And that's why I said now it's like, okay, well, Nicole, you don't like watching professional. The college is getting out of control. Now what is it? You gonna go back to high school and watch high school kids fight for it?
It sounds like what you both have said is that the
See,
character. Can you hear me?
just a little bit for me.
You can't hear me?
I think everybody else can hear. No, everybody else can hear you fine. It's just
speak
me.
louder. Let me put my other earphone on. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. Let's see.
No, everybody else can hear you fine. It's not them. It's just me.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
You were fine. You don't have to wear that. You were fine. Everybody can hear you. It's just me. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. I was gonna say, it sounds like both of you are saying that character needs to be developed in the home first. Everything starts at home first before you even step out on the field. And a lot of the mistakes and a lot of the things that these boys or these men, they were two men, aspire to be is all the flashiness, all that stuff that you were saying, Nicole. And a lot of that is knowing who you are before you even get on that field, and knowing how to treat people and also yourself with the utmost respect before you even go out on, get on that field. And so I think developing their character is so much more important as they're learning how to play football, as they're developing over the years from high school to college to the NFL. And so that's super, super important. Another thing I was going to say is, Nikki, you had said something about they don't have counseling set up. They don't have all this other stuff set up within the NFL. It's like how can I say this in a nice way? Because I'm on a podcast. Amen. It is like a factory. Use them up, move it out. Use them up, move them out. Use them up, move them out. I don't really care about the person. I just need the body. It's great that you have skills. I'm just going to use you up. And next, and next, and next. It's sad. I don't like it. But like you said, the football players need to understand their worth and form a union and not look at the flash. You're going to get paid. Trust me, you're going to be very much paid regardless. But if you all come together, rules can be changed, laws can be changed. So yeah, money rules the world.
Yeah, because look at the guy that just lost his life. He had a concussion.
Straight up.
And the doctor cleared him. It's crazy.
No, ma'am. Sit down. It's all right. It's not right at all.
I'm gonna hit some of these comments. I missed the whole juice conversation y'all just had, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay myself. Since I saw your comment, my ear, but they won't work in this. They jicky.
I can see some of the questions.
Ingrid said it's always the best of the best is competitive sports. Treva says y'all know they claim that they're about to start paying college players. I've been wanting them to do that in high school too, because they make mad money off them kids. Ashley says basketball mom here. Hold on a second. Let me do it from here. These comments are coming so fast. Basketball mom here.
You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
Okay, because I can see it from on my computer screen. Ashley says, baseball mom here, travel baseball, and I see all of this now. However, teaching my son now, you're not making grades, you're not playing. Treva then says, which should have been done considering all the money they've made off of those kids for years. She says, sis, plug in some headphones or earbuds. I think she's talking to you. Can you hear me, Nikki? She can't hear me. Nikki.
I have no idea why I literally you sound like a little ant talking. It's crazy. And I don't want to turn this up because it's going to be Anyway, did you read all of the comments? You got
I'm gonna
everybody?
keep
Because we
going.
got
I'm gonna
some
keep
from
going.
Vicky and from
I'm
Carrie.
coming. I'm coming. Okay. It's all about money at the end of the day. If you notice, most of the Black athletes, once gone, is an afterthought. Most of them, they lure our young Black men with money, cars, and dreams. Yes, dreams. Ashley then says, hold on. Yes, the top schools here in Arkansas use all the African American students up. By the time they get to the NFL, they can't do nothing. And then Kyrie says, facts, watch the dark side of football. Teresa says, Nick so annoyed with her texture issues.
Yes, sissy, you know me so well. My baby sis said, I am so annoyed with their tech issues. I am very annoyed because you have no idea what happened before we tried to get on here. We got on here late, but it's all good because y'all in here and you're enjoying the show. With that being said, y'all ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. The next topic is, how do you continue to have faith in marriage when you see Black love declining and people divorcing left and right? That question was yours. See, tell us why we're talking about it.
It was because it came from the Tia and Corey's divorce. And then more people are coming out divorcing since the pandemic, during the pandemic.
I'm going to be real bootleg. Go ahead. I'm going to listen to you on here.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. But you see so much happening with people divorcing in the Black community. But then on the flip side, the average day, everyday person, I see more people getting married though. But it's not put on the media, it's not put on social, you don't see it, so you don't think people are still getting married, but a lot of young Black people are still getting married. So what I hear from my generation and below me is, how can we have hope or faith that we're going to have a successful marriage that's going to last? And so people are just choosing not to get married and just shack up or just date forever because of the fear of not having a successful marriage. So that's where that question came up for me. You hear me? Okay, she catching on to the end.
Yes, she getting the replay of it. Okay.
I'm a few seconds behind listening to you on here. Were you waiting on me?
Yes.
Hey, Vicky. Where can we watch this? ESPN? Probably. So was the question thrown to me? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. We doing this show. Bump that. It's bootleg, but we doing this show. So this is how I feel about it. If I look at what I'm seeing in the media when it comes to couples, whether they are ratchetly out here in these streets fighting, whether they are arguing on social media, whether they're getting divorced and they're married to somebody else tomorrow with babies here and there, if I watch that, I'm absolutely gonna feel like, do I want to get married? Here's the thing. This is what I would encourage anybody my age, above me, up beneath me. Do not look to your favorite celebrity, your favorite social media person, the person in your family that's on marriage number 5. Like, choose who you look up to as your example. And no matter what you see, who your example is, you have to have it in here that this is what you want. And your relationships can't be patterned by what Instagram tell you. Your relationships can't be patterned by these beautiful reels that people put up, and then your heart is broken. You find out the next day that they filing for divorce. Baby, it's social media. It's all smoke and mirrors, to be honest. Like, I don't wake up with lipstick on. I don't wake up with lashes on, but I'm going to be on social media tonight, so I put it on. But if you think this is how I look every day and you judge your life according to, your feelings going to be hurt if you catch me in the morning and that lash is right here and lipstick is all the way up here. So what do you want? What are your dreams? What are your desires? What do you envision your relationship to be like? And then I'm going to take it away from that and to something else for a second. If you even pattern it after your parents, if they did not have a healthy relationship, if your grandparents did not have a healthy relationship, don't doom yourself that ain't nobody in my family ever. Don't even pattern after that. You can choose what you want your example to be. You can choose and decide what you want, and you can govern your relationship accordingly. I always tell couples to have your own vision and mission statement for your relationship. Come up with your own absolutes and non-negotiables for your relationship. Don't let somebody outside of the two people that said I do tell you how to run your life and your relationship, because you'll do it thinking that it's the best and it's not. Back to the subject. You'll do it thinking that it's the best and it's not, and your feelings be all the way hurt because you thought this couple that you had way up here thinking that they had everything together was really struggling, that you didn't know they were struggling. When they break up, your heart is broken, and now you don't think love will ever happen. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts on it. And we got a bunch of comments real quick.
You want me to read it? Okay, you got it.
The delay. Oh, leave me alone, William. Leave me alone. Hey, Tamika. Hey, James. The new do you want to go ahead and read it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The new generation is so microwave. They refuse to sit down and talk to the older generation to find wisdom in things like marriage. It's not about the next person. It's about what you want.
I see that, William. Nicole, there's one up there from Victoria. Can you read that one?
I can't see him.
You can't see it?
Hollywood is the worst example of marriage. They pass partners like passing lit joint. Sorry. She said it like it is. Forgive me for that if it's offensive. However, these celebrities are not good examples at all. Absolutely.
I'm laughing late, but I just heard what you read.
We can't be led by others in what we see about their life and how they are living. Ashley says, 17 years of marriage and struggled comparing my marriage to others. Once we focus on ourselves, the marriage became better. Carter says, I can't wait to see the bloopers. It's going to be bad. And then Treva says, yes, Victoria, Hollywood, and social media both do the same thing. Which is true. Which is very, very true. I remember when I got married, my mom did tell me, she was like, Hollywood is Hollywood. Make your marriage. She's delayed. She's so delayed, it's ridiculous. You would have to come
a couple seconds after you just said it. This is just so bootleg, but it's all
It's like 30 seconds, though. It's like a whole 30, 45 seconds. If she busts out laughing, I'm going to crack up. If she busts out laughing. Lord have mercy. It's so bad.
She trying to be cute. She trying to be
I'm
cute.
on your 30 seconds comment. Go listen. Come at me when you're ready for me to talk. Just go ahead.
She trying to be cute.
Happy Tuesday, y'all.
Nikki, maybe you should like get out of the live and then come back in on your phone so you can catch up to the live. Like, okay.
If you're talking to me, hold on, I hear you now. Do what?
Go out on your phone and come back in.
Yeah.
If I go out and come back in, y'all are gonna be cut off.
Now, on that phone, the phone you listening to.
I'm too lost. Hush, Carla. I read your comment. I have no idea what y'all are saying, but if you're telling me to go out and come back in, I'm gonna lose the live.
Not on your phone.
On that phone that you're holding in your hand.
On this one?
That one. Yes.
It's still gonna be a delay. It's still gonna be a delay.
Won't be that bad though.
I'm gonna tell you, watch. Continue. What are y'all thoughts on
what I was saying was
Cause y'all ain't gonna make this show about me and my bootleg.
What I was saying was, my mom told me once when I got married, she said, "Don't focus on Hollywood or what other people's relationships." She said, "Make your marriage what you want it to be." And I didn't think that was important when she said it, but as I've grown and been married, what now, 11, going on 12 years, I see you do sell a bit muffled. I probably am because I'm nasally. Maybe I am. I am maybe muffled. Let me see if this will help. Do I sound muffled?
Okay, I love what you were saying before you stopped. When you're talking about your mama said, "Make your marriage what you want it to be." That's powerful. Yeah, that is so.
But powerful. Like I said, when I was younger, I didn't see this in that comment, but I still did what she said, just being obedient, you know. But it did help me out. It really did, and we have made a beautiful. It's work. It's not easy, but it's work, and it's real. I think when you look at the celebrities and social media, it's a facade. And when you're trying to live by a facade, it's exhausting. You don't want to continue doing it, and you're just passing time. And especially when you add kids to it, oh my God, God bless you and your whole self. It makes it so fake. And you're just living this life that's not really real. So I behoove anybody who's thinking about getting married or is married to, what do you want? Is your marriage what you pictured it to be? Is what you desire it to be? Because marriage is a ministry. We are walking this thing out and people are watching you. Yeah. So, and then the role models, you can look up to people, but don't what's the word? Don't become infatuated to the point where you try to replicate their life, because your life is not their life. Yeah. You don't know the struggles that husband have. You don't know the struggle that wife has. That makes the conflict, makes the marriage difficult. You don't know. And you have your own, bucket of problems. So be careful not to fantasize to be this dream couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was a time like me and one of my aunts were going to get our feet done or whatever. And we was just talking, and my uncle had called her, and I was like, when I get married, I want my marriage just like that. And she said, hold up. She said, do you know what I had to go through to get my marriage to where it is now? And I was like, what? She said, when you get married, you got to be willing to fight. Yep. Not fight each other, but fight for it. She said, because it's going to be some bumps and bruises. It's going to be some, I want to walk away, but I'm going to stay. She said, and you have to ask yourself, is this union worth me staying? She said, my aunt had a lot of kids. So she had 10 boys.
Oh, bless it.
And she was like, it wasn't just because of my kids. She said, I actually loved him. Mm-hmm. And she said, but and I think they've been married now over 50 years, probably 60 years. And she gave me that advice. She said, don't compare a marriage to how you want your marriage to be. Mm-hmm. She said, yeah, you might want the characteristics, but you don't know what that woman went through. You don't know the hell that she went through, the hills she went over, and the paradise she lived in to get her marriage. Where is that? So don't say, and that right there stopped me from saying, oh, I want my marriage like that. Yep. And my granddaddy used to tell me, because I used to look at Denzel Washington and his wife and all that, and I used to be like, oh, my marriage gonna be like that. And my granddaddy told me, you do know they're human. You do know they got everyday problems just like you got problems. Just like, it's times when Denzel done went and stayed gone for a couple of months and come home and expected the dinner, and she like, you ain't been here in a couple of months, and now you want dinner. Yeah. So that's I think I still would have faith in marriage because of what I was taught. Mm-hmm. And just the realistic of it, sitting down listening to married people. Married people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they'll tell me, like, don't just give me all the glory days. I need to know when you was ready to punch him in the face and put a pillow over his head. Mm-hmm. I want to know about the sleepless nights where he snored too loud and you wanted to give him something to calm down the snore. Like, I want to know that because well, in a dating relationship, it's never all glory days. So yeah, and that's why I said I believe in black love. Don't get me wrong. I'm proud of black love, but married people break up a lot. I ain't gonna say every day, but they break up a lot.
I remember when Nikki would say, "I hate." She said she's not hate. She said she dislikes when in the black community we say, "This is in our house. This is our business. We don't be sharing our business." That also goes to marriages because you're not sharing what you're going through, and you're keeping your marriage like this all the time. No one really knows.
Well,
The
go
young
on in
people
this
don't feel
house, stay
comfortable
in
coming
this
to
Who
talk
house.
to
is that
you.
that just said, "I got
Thank
stories,
you,
come talk to me"? Who is that? I just seen that at
Ashley.
the bottom.
Ashley Dotson.
Well, actually,
But
when I
that's the
get
thing.
ready to say I do, I will
Yeah,
put you on the list.
yeah, put on the list. But yeah, the older generation is not always open because of that. What stays in this, what goes on in this house stays in this house mentality, and that has really, really made it very difficult for us as a people to help one another, especially in the marriage. In the marriage, oh, somebody said something. Okay, let me read this out loud. Treva says, "That's right. I had to tell myself that when I was single, seeing relationships from the outside looking in, I had to literally remind myself that these folks have probably been through some of everything. They probably had to sleep on the floor together and go through the trenches together." Yeah, yeah. And
That's
being
what I
able
said.
to,
When I say I do, I understand you want to go to the pastor, but I need to go to some real people. I need somebody to
Mhm.
tell me, "Hey, your first 3 years is it's gonna be thin
It's gonna
ice."
be straight, crazy. Straight
Yeah,
crazy.
it-
Hmm.
you gonna look this dude in the face and be like, "I want." That's what kind of counseling I need. I don't need, "Oh, he opens the door for me and he buys me flowers just because," and I don't need all that lovey-dovey stuff because that I expect. What
I
I
expect.
don't expect is cleaning up your nasty drawers off the floor and like stuff like that.
Yeah, the first 5 years. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Let
The
me
first 5 years.
let me
Go
say
ahead.
this. I also want to add this in there. Be careful with the words that you come into agreement that people speak over marriages and over yours. One thing I cannot stand is when somebody be like, "Oh, marriage is hard."
Mm-hmm.
So everybody goes
Oh, what am
into
I gonna do?
marriage saying, "I know it's going to be hard." Why would
Right.
you why would you come into agreement with that?
Why? Why?
I don't like when people say stuff like, sometimes you just gotta take the why I gotta take the bitter with the sweet. Like we say stuff sometimes we don't realize the power. First of all, there's power in behind everything that you say. And if you've known me
Mm-hmm.
more than 5 minutes, you know I'm big on words. You're not
Mm-hmm.
gonna speak that into my life. You're not gonna speak that over
Nope.
me. I may be having a hard moment, but you ain't finna declare my whole entire marriage finna be hard. There may be times that are difficult, but you ain't finna declare my whole marriage is difficult. Let me ask you, why was it hard for you? Because if you tell me, I might realize, oh, it was hard because you was making it hard. That's not to say that there won't be things. It's not to say that there won't be moments, but you're not going to declare that over me. And I say be
Mm-hmm.
very careful with who you let speak into your life like that, into your marriage like that. Or if you're talking about marriage and you talking to your friends or your aunties or you whoever, child, I was married to your so-and-so for about 45 years. Let me tell you. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there because I don't need to hear all that. You know what I'm saying? Tell me the things that I can use to safeguard my marriage. Tell me
Mm-hmm.
things that you may have learned from mistakes that were made. This is what we did. It wasn't right, baby. We almost divorced over this. So y'all be like, just y'all. You come into
Yep.
agreement with this stuff, and then you have to contend with the words that you accept. I'm
Right.
gonna let that sit and ride. So if I
Right.
accept that this marriage is gonna be hard, well, dang it, now I got to struggle with a hard marriage because they told me it was gonna be hard. Because he asked
Mm-hmm.
you to put the top back on the toothpaste. Now it's hard. Like, don't just watch the words you come into agreement with. That's all.
Amen. Amen.
Hey Jay,
Amen.
Hey, sissy.
y'all ready?
That's it. What's the next question? Next
All
question.
right, the very next one is Pastor Whitehead.
I'll let y'all
Again, y'all may know him as the pastor that was robbed in New York. Those are my fingers, not the girls. That's me. He's been accused of assault after putting his hands on a woman in church and choking her. Some of you have heard about this, some of you have not, but recently doing a service, there was, this woman there, she says in her interviews that she was there as a reporter or journalist. There had been a few times he told her, you can even see it in the video as well, to come on up to the front. He was basically mocking and baiting her. She goes up to the front and he's really antagonistic toward this woman. In my opinion, as she's walking up toward the front, he grabs this woman by her neck. And he grabs her so hard, you can see that she has this big, long, bloody cut on her neck. And he's off camera at this point, so you don't get to see what he actually does to her. You can just hear and assume. His version of it is he has the other side of the video. It wasn't the way it looked. And she was coming toward his wife and his child. That's what I did. I watched it I don't know how many times. I don't see what had happened, but I will say this. He was mighty crunk on this woman, claiming that she was going toward his wife and child. But when them people was robbing him, and they was in there with guns and had the gun pointed at his wife and child, bro laid down so easy, no granted. I'm not saying anybody should charge anybody with the gun, but he was real about it with this woman. One woman, a woman, and he's a man. But when these people came in real calmly with these guns, because it looked kind of calm to me, I don't know, and had the gun on his family, he did nothing. But his defense is he was protecting his wife and child. Ladies, y'all have seen the video. What do you think?
See,
look, I'm ready for this one.
I just made a comment to somebody today about this new Christian people. I might as well keep saying it, because God gonna look at me and be like, "Child, you go ahead and I got other fish to fry." Because like I'm mad with everybody in the church, and nobody stopped this man put his hands on this woman.
Nobody.
I was just done. And really, you can't say that, because I'm with you, Nick. Where was you at? What was all this Mighty Mouse when them guys was about to run that rock?
I heard that. I heard the Mighty Mouse.
I mean, Mighty you could have been like, okay, because I'm already saying you hellbound. Lord, I don't want to judge the man, but he's already hellbound. Why you just didn't lie and say you was in the spirit?
What did you say? Why didn't he what?
Lied to say he was in the spirit.
Well, you do remember during the video, he kept telling y'all put your hands together for the Lord. Put your hands together for Jesus. He's had the people speak in tongue when she was coming up, and he, sent all this stuff to her, which I'm not even understanding why you mixing the Lord in any of that. But he was speaking in tongue. Go ahead, Nicole. I'm sorry.
I mean, don't even put your wife in, say she put your wife and your children in danger. Just say, look, the Lord let me lay hands on you. Like, just say that, because you already hellbound. Like,
yes,
like just do that.
Let me read the comments. Hold on, let me read the comments. People are like, what the what? What? At the church? Church? At the what? What? When did this happen? What? Okay, what the? Okay. Akita says, yes, he's overrated with the women versus with the robbery at the church. Trina says, protect them in the church. What happened in the church that they needed protection? And Nikki, hashtag my mouth. Trina says, was this in front of the churchgoers? Yes, it was in front of the congregation.
And recorded.
During the service. And recorded. Yes, ma'am. Oh, God help us, my aunt said. Elaine says. And then Nikki says, yeah. And then Trina says, speaking in tongues, I'm so lost. Yeah, we were all lost when we saw the video.
Come on, y'all. Come on. Speak in tongues. Come on. Y'all, clap for Jesus.
I was like, what are we doing?
If she
What's about
was
to
that
happen,
much
Lord?
trouble that you had to put your hands on her because she was whatever you claimed she was doing, why did you invite her up? Come on, go and take your picture because y'all want a picture. You want to be famous. I'm going to make you famous today. Why even engage in any of that if it was that bad? Why
He was
engage in
taunting
that in the
her.
middle of service?
No, he was he wasn't
That
trying
was
to protect his
he
family.
knew
He
what
was
he was
taunting
about to
her.
do.
He knew what he was doing. He just justifying it, trying to
That's
justify
why
it.
he
Is there
wanted
a
to
way to
come
play
down
the
there
video?
so bad.
I'm
People
just
said, is
mad at
there
the
a way
people that
to
still attend his church. Them boo-boo
that part?
fools.
Straight
I guess they just say, hey.
up.
No, sis, we can't do that for copyright purposes. But send me a text, and as soon as we get off, I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
Or you can
like
use yeah.
I'm still mad. First of all, if I'm going to the church and it got robbed, guess what? I ain't never going back. He has lost my membership.
Jay said,
You
where
can
were
be
the
a
armor
what?
bearers? Exactly. Or the
Saying
deacons,
it right,
or the
saying
They
it
were
right, saying
going
assistant,
it
or
right.
the
live.
musician.
They were going live.
Where was your
Mm-hmm.
restraint? Forget everybody else. We're not going to hold nobody else accountable. Where was your restraint?
He had some built up tension from the robbery, and it just came out.
No, I'm sorry. You wanted, he wanted smoke. He wanted smoke.
Yeah, he
He
did.
said, I'm gonna make you famous. That means me and
Thank
you,
you. He
we
wanted
about to
some
He
get
had
us some
smoke.
all
He
followers.
wanted some
intentions.
smoke.
He had all
And now he's
intentions of
saying in
doing
his
something to her.
interviews, I love women.
Oh,
I love
stop.
women.
Just stop.
He probably
It
see
ain't
his
like y'all
wife.
Stop.
think it is. I got the video too.
Stop, thump. Little thump side piece. Stop it. Just stop it. Thumping,
Did
thumping.
you see
Stop
what
it.
your auntie said?
Yes, I did. Girl, today I want to. She says, girl, I know that part, Jay. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was very, very bad. No, we're just not gonna do that. He made a huge mistake. He did, and he's gonna be held accountable because that was horrible. And yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's about the worst of them preachers. You go to church and Lord, please forgive me. That
Yes.
they be laying hands and they want you to fall out and you be still there trying to stand and they keep pushing you. That's why I said you don't. One thing I tell people, I don't play with God. I don't. And and I remember once I went to church and I knew my mom invited me, wanted me to come to church with her, and because I wanted to be in agreement with my mama, I went. I sat in the back of the church. Now I knew, and now I'm just gonna put it out there. I knew like when I left church, I was going out. I knew I was going to the club. I knew I was gonna turn up. This one prophet was there. Well, he said he was a prophet, Lord. And my spirit didn't mix well with his spirit. So he kept saying, come here. And I was like, who, me? He said, yeah, come here, let me pray for you. I said, And everybody in the church was like, oh, that is a spirit. You don't want him. I said, his spirit my spirit don't agree with his spirit. And they say, you need to know God for yourself. And I know the relationship that I have, and I know him for myself. It don't. Let me tell you. So all these people, it was so funny because he said, whoever brings the most people to church, God, I'm buy them groceries. That was the first night. My friend's mom won, and I said, "What he buy y'all? A bunch of oodles and noodles and vines?" Just joking. She said, "Girl, yeah." The second night is when I went, and he gave my mama this little ring, and I told my mom, I said, "Don't put that ring on your finger." She said, "Well, why?" I said, "Because you're gonna catch hell." And I'm not lying. If my mama did not catch hell with that ring. But this was the thing. At the end of the night, like he told my cousin to stand up, and he told my cousin, he said, the truck that you want, go get it. I looked at my cousin. I said, you wanted a truck? He said, no. He said, and for you, if God said for you to go back to school. I said, who, me? He said, yeah. I said, nah, we ain't not the same God. Like that. And everybody kept saying, Nicole, you so wrong. And I was like, y'all can play with God. I know. And I even to play with him. We get outside. And I'll make the story real short. We get outside. My mom was like bragging, Nicole, he came to church in a limo. I went outside and I looked at that limousine. I said, well, one thing I can't believe it. I mean, we agree on. He said, well, I said, prayer works. Because that limo, you was on a prayer getting here. It was a old funeral home. And then I'm standing outside talking to his guy, so this boy that came with him. He comes outside, the little prophet comes outside, y'all. He says, I know the devil is a lie. Devil is a lie. And I was like, what's he talking about? So my pastor came outside and was like, what's going on, right? And he says, those girls over there trying to he didn't call us he called us something. I want to say heathens. And my pastor like checked him right then and there. I looked at that man and said, let me tell you something. I don't want nobody perm better than mine. Like, no, like when I say I was reading that guy, I was reading him. Like, don't play with me.
A mess. Sounds like a mess.
No, my thing is know the spirit by the spirit. And I knew that was not the right spirit.
Obvious.
I'm gonna move us on to the next one, ladies, for time. But hey, Loretta, hey, Derek, to answer your question, yes, he did put his hands on her in church. You can text me. I'll send you the link too. It's some comments you want to hit them real quick. See before we hit the next one.
Elaine says. Elaine says. Then they tell you that you have a stubborn spirit, Nicole.
Oh.
And then Treva says, not the hearse. Y'all are too much in this comment. Not the hearse. Okay, not the hearse. And the perm.
And the perm, honey. Straight back.
Like a pimp. P-I-M-P. P-I-M-P. All right, Nikki, what's the next question?
This is so sad. This ain't gonna happen ever again. I hope you're saying me. How do you know if your business partner, it's ridiculous, but it's okay. How do you know if your business partner is the right fit for you? See, why are we talking about this?
Well, we've all had business partners, and
it's okay, Auntie. It ain't your fault. It's technology. People coming in late probably like, why she got their phone up to her ear so I can hear, because I can hear a word that they are saying. But go ahead.
And so, as we all grow and become entrepreneurs, you might have business partners or people that want to come in agreement with you with whatever you want to do. And so that's where that question came up, is how do you know that the person you've chose or that you think God has sent you is the best fit for you? That's the question I had. That's why I asked the question. So I'm going to go with Nicole first, because Nikki going to catch up.
I just read your lips. Shut up, see? You right, because I'm about 30 seconds behind.
You're really 30 seconds behind.
Well, I'm just watching you guys. I learned from you all because this is like really my first time stepping out in this field. I love fashion merchandising, and one of my friends wants me to help him with his brand, and he wants me to come in and just merchandise the store, like set it up. And that's one of my passions, to do that. But again, with the business thing, this is and I'm telling you, this is like my first time. So just watching, and pray. That's it. Like, God, am I overstepping? Do you not want me to go that way? I just pray for God to protect me in that venture. Again, my answer is short because this is my first time really branching out. So just watching, just just picking some good examples.
So my question for you would be, what do you observe now that we do, I'm gonna say, good as a throuple? You say how you say it? Triple double, a throuple. Fix my words, Jesus. How do you feel that we're doing? I think in this partnership.
I think the communication.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna use me because we were just talking about the book last at our meeting.
Yeah.
And y'all gave me the reality check, like, Nicole, you got a lot this week on your plate. Like, do you really, like, we don't mind. You know what I'm saying? So the communication and then the compromise and understanding, like, hey, I understand that you're going through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
let's, change
Yeah.
it up. Let us take some of the load off your plate and we'll just do it next week. It's okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I think communication and the compromise and the prayer, mostly the prayer. Like even when sometimes I come down on my heart on myself because I say, Dag, I feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not here. And y'all be like, it's okay. We understand. And it's not, but you see that I'm just not taking it as an excuse saying, hey, I got a lot on my plate, so I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
You be like, Nicole, you pushing yourself. Like, calm down. Like, let's get this together. So I think that's what helps us out. Will help me out with this. So for me to branch off to somebody to do something else also,
Mm-hmm.
I learned from this. So that would be my
Ooh,
answer.
communication. I'm gonna go to the comments, and then I'm gonna throw it to you, Nikki. Um, Elaine says yes, and discernment also. You learn through experience. My mom says that experience is the best teacher. Yes. Derek says you got to be careful and be led by the Spirit of God, um, for any partnership. Elaine says, ask questions and be assertive towards a common goal. Very, very true statement. Nikki, your turn.
I told you I was gonna write mine down because I can make sure I stay
Did
here,
you?
not
Did
go over
you?
there.
Did you?
There has to be 100% effort and commitment from both parties. That's number one. It has to be 100%. I cannot rely on the fact that you are so good at what you do that I make you do everything, because that burnout will happen real quick. That feeling of being unappreciated, that feeling of if I'm gonna do all the work, I should get most of the money, and that's gonna cross over into finances. So there has to be 100% commitment from both parties. That work in marriage too, don't it? I digress.
Doesn't it?
There
Doesn't
has
it?
to be equal hard work and passion put into the business, right? So if my daddy will call it half, but the other word half ASS. If you have ASS it, and I'm 100, giving 100%, it's gonna be so unbalanced. Something's gonna
Mm-hmm.
lack somewhere, and the business is gonna suffer for it, right? The customers are gonna suffer because you lazy, like you have doing it. That's not gonna be a good partnership. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody has to be willing to put in the hard work. Um, just because somebody is, we talking if you're getting in business with your friend, just because you
Yes.
can go party with them, you can drink with them, y'all kick it, y'all go to the best movies, y'all rock the best, y'all go vacation together, don't mean you should get into business together.
Okay.
Just because y'all been friends for 20 years and both of y'all make y'all peanut butter jelly sandwich the same way does not
Same
mean you
way.
should get into a peanut butter jelly sandwich business. Because if
Mm-hmm.
their heart is not where yours is and yours is on a different place and y'all don't have the same mindset, like that book is gonna fall quick. The other thing is it requires a different level of conversation that you're used to having with your friend. My best friend and I can have a good conversation. We can talk, we can go deep, we can, tell each other secrets that nobody else knows. But when it comes to business, I have to be able to tell you the truth about where you may need to improve. And I have to be able to hear it coming from you too. We have to talk
Mm-hmm.
real about money. We have to talk
Mm-hmm.
real about areas where we need to get back. Like that requires a whole nother level of truth and depth of conversation. It ain't the
Mm-hmm.
same as telling somebody who you slept with for the first time and the first time you
Mm-hmm.
did such and such with. It ain't the same thing. It's sitting down and saying, like, man, you rocking it right here, but I don't, the way you talk to the customers, you got to kind of chill on that because so it requires a different level of conversation. And if you are willing to do those things, to me, you can be very successful. But if you're not, and it's so much about the relationship that you have with your homie versus we got to be grown men or grown women or whatever about this business. So no, no.
It don't work.
It,
It don't work.
I would
It
say
don't
before y'all
work.
decide to go into business together, whether it's your friend or whoever, find out where their heart is, where their mind is, and what the vision and the goal is for them. And then tell them yours and see if they align again in a working relationship. If they don't align, y'all got two different business concepts underneath one roof. How they gonna work? How they gonna work? And side note, and if they're not real good in their finances right now, how they gonna work? They work in relationship too. I digress. I'm done.
You sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
I mean, I got some more, but I'm done.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? I got some more, but I'm done.
Okay.
You want to hit the comments? I see some.
I hit the
comments.
Them. I see them. Exactly. Trip Triva said, Nick, your nails are pretty. Derek says exactly. Elaine says aced. And Elaine says same sorority, not so. Not a sorority. We're not just going whoop and all that other stuff they could be doing.
She said, and there you have it.
There it is. So it's not. I would say
I got to hear this. What? Because you came up with this question. What's your thoughts on this?
You said everything that I was going to say.
Okay, I want to hear out your mouth. What you say?
But I said the first thing for me is the heart posture. What is your heart? You can have all this desire, but do you have the heart for whatever we want to do? 2, do you have the time to do it? Are you going to make time to do it? 3, communication. Like Nicole said, it's so important. You have to communicate so much more than just being friends. You have to really talk a lot to really break down the concepts of what you want to present to the world, what marketing you want to do, how you want the finances to go. It's so many more conversations that sometimes can be uncomfortable that you have to be willing to have those conversations. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, patience and grace. Hand in hand. You have to have patience that you're not going to get it all right at the same time, at the same destination, at the same all the time. But you also have to give grace because life happens. Just like Nicole said, we notice something within our friend. We're like, guess what? We're going to push it back. It's all good. Be okay with not meeting certain deadlines if it's not going to hurt anything, if that makes any sense. If it's not going to really hurt the business, adjust. It's your business. Adjust. Make the adjustments necessary so that you can flourish together. The cohesiveness between you two is based on the communication, the assertiveness, the time management, the honesty, the transparency between you two, and the heart posture. I will also say praying is key to determining if this is something that you should be doing with that person, and getting confirmations or asking God to show you things along the way to ensure that this is the person you should be going with at this time for this business venture or whatever you're going to do. I'll also say fast. If you need to fast to really get clarity on is this the best decision for you and also that person, do that, because it will help you in the long run to determine if you are clear about your wants and desires and needs and expectations, but then also that other person, if they're fasting too at the same time, hopefully they get some clarity and some understanding about what their hopes and their goals are too. So that makes the business work together. It makes the cohesiveness of it flow a little bit easier. That's it. Derek says, can you go into a business with someone of the opposite sex?
Yes. And I think the same rules apply. The same rules apply. I would say with the opposite sex, make sure all the conversation is on the table. If there is a interest there for like intimacy or relationship, that needs, in my opinion, to be known, because if not, and it's kept a secret by the person that has it, those customers that come in that they over there talking to you in your feelings because they over there having this conversation and they don't, you know what I mean? That's issues. That's stuff that is underneath the rug that needs to be out, right? And if those things cannot be resolved, we don't need to be in business together. I think we need to be able to have grown people conversation, because I'm telling you, them customers come in and they over there talking and smiling and teeing and you get in your feelings. That's going to make the next business meeting real uncomfortable. Real uncomfortable. I want wanted to say something on what you said, see about adjusting. And I want to add adjusting with the grace. There are so many times, even us in our meetings together, we'll switch something up. We'll plan something, but day of, we'll send a message to each other. I'm not in the headspace. I can't do so-and-so, or I won't make it tonight. You know, you got me. You have to be able to do that. If you can't trust the people that you partnering with to do that, like you can't trust them to have it when you can't have it, or them to have your back when you feel like you ain't got your own back. If you can't have that, what type of partnership are you gonna have?
Right.
I don't know if you can call it a partnership, really, right? Because if you're in business together and say something happens to your partner, a family member passes away or something, if I can't trust you to have me and trust you to hold it down for me while I'm gone, why are we in business together?
Don't make sense.
You stealing out the thing while I'm gone, trying to take care of people. Why are we in business together?
No, man. That's disrespectful. No, man. Mm-mm. Disrespectful. I'm gonna go to the comments real quick, okay? Elaine says, right, be willing to change your product if it's not trending or profitable. There are so many variables here, though. Products must be marketable. Jay says, exactly. Elaine says, what if it's your boo or fiance? And then Jay says, yes, I am. She's in a business with a male, I guess, a man. And then Elaine says flexibility. Jay says they have to be able to keep it going without me, most definitely. But Elaine also did say, what if it's your boo or fiance? I wouldn't tag a business on top of that.
You said you wouldn't do it with your...
If it's your fiance, you're not married, I would say no. Because you're tagging on an extra burden, if you will, on you're not married yet. You haven't even tested the union before you try to add on a business. The union has to be solid first before you add a business to it. That's just my opinion.
Let me flip this and ask this way, and I know we got to move on. What if you start out in business with someone that becomes your husband or wife?
That's different.
Or do you feel like you're adding a commitment on top of that business relationship? The same way you are adding, like you said a minute ago, with a fiance adding a business on top of... I'll let you read that in a minute. Like you said a minute ago about the fiance becoming your business partner and that commitment on top.
Right. I think if you were business partners before and decided to get together, that's different because you have a different union or basis of your relationship. But if you are in a relationship and you are our fiance and you're going to add a business to it, yet you haven't really formed a union. I don't know.
Derek says it don't work like that, ladies. It doesn't work like what?
He says exactly. He said, and then Jay says exactly. We're not mixing business and pleasure, right? Derek says, I believe that a partnership I believe that a partnership should be just that. No time for relationship and partnership at the same time. Elaine says, test the waters.
I don't agree with that. I think two people that are adults can decide what they want for them. And some people can't do both. I get that.
No.
Some people need to do one or the other. I get that. Some people may start off as business partners, end up in a relationship, and one decides I'm going to pull out just to save the business or to save the relationship. I get that. But I'm not going to say that it can't be done. I've seen it done. I have seen it done too many times. And the relationship is fine. The partnership is fine. So I can't say that if just because I wouldn't do it, it can't be done, or because it don't seem like a good idea that it can't be done. Relationship with business don't mix. Well, Derek feels like relationship and business doesn't mix. So I feel you. Okay, ladies. So since we started late, technically we are an hour and about 10 minutes in actually of doing the show. And we have two topics. I'm going to forego the last one Well, I'm going to forego one of them, and that was the body positivity. I want to save that for next week because we've been putting off the letter to our younger selves. Let's end the show with that if y'all are okay with it. Okay. And one of y'all can go first.
Go ahead, Sierra.
I'm short and sweet. So I'm short and sweet. It might sound bad, but I'm short and sweet. Okay. I don't know who we're supposed to say this to. If it was the 18-year-old self or the whatever. I said to my 18-year-old self, first, never doubt who God has called you to be. Remember all the lessons your mother has taught you about herself, yourself, and people. Make it a point to discover who your dad is and go to Nigeria and learn your lineage. See the world. Friends will come and go, so don't hold on too tight because you will spoil them rotten to the point of them causing you to dislike all the wonderful gifts God has given you. Embrace your differences and ask God for guidance on how to use your gifts for his glory. Stop beating yourself up about your size. Just learn how to live a healthier life. Don't focus so much on the now, but the future. Do more planning there. Your heart is beautiful. Don't forget that. That's it. Told y'all, mine was short, sweet.
It was good. I loved the go to Nigeria, go find your dad. I loved I'm talking loud. I loved the building up of yourself, and it was at any age you chose. So I'm glad you chose at 18.
Okay.
18 is, child. 18 is something else. I love what you wrote to yourself. I love that. I love that you talked to yourself about the weight. I loved it. It was beautiful. That was powerful, chick.
I be trying. It was sweet.
Nicole.
I'm
sorry, did you call me? Because I didn't hear that.
I said Nicole.
Okay, go ahead, Nicole. I'm ready.
I did. I said letter to 16-year-old self. Y'all gotta excuse me because technical stuff. So, I said, hey Nicole, at the age of 16, there's so much I want to say about what you're about to face at this age. From the age of 13 to 16, you will experience inappropriate things that may have you question your self-worth. Not addressing several issues and burying them deep does not make you strong. It will only help you handle several situations differently. That also needs to be addressed by an adult. Know that you did not make it okay for the situation to take place. You will fall for an individual and a baby will be conceived in this relationship. Even though you question God about the decision, God had other plans. So trust that he knew what was best for you. God will place several special people, hold on, y'all, in your life, but you must allow them to pray over you, encourage you, and trust that they have your best interests at heart. Being so guarded will only push people away, and Allow people who truly love you, let them love you. Having to question your self-worth so many times that if you don't let your guard down, you will miss out on some great people in your life and situations that you will be able to enjoy only if you trust. Sometimes being alone is when God speaks to you the most. There will be times when you just want to be there will be times when you want to be a child, but adulthood will take over and people will expect so much out of you that as you get older, you will not know when to go into relax mode. Don't let your situation don't let I don't even remember what I put. Don't let your situation dictate. I don't know. At this age, you will learn who God really is. Stay close to your grandfather, for he will give you so much wisdom and show you unconditional love. Don't let others, don't look to others as how you supposed to. God created you in his perfect image. Know that every mistake is not a lesson, and every lesson is not a mistake. Sometimes you have to allow God to handle, sometimes you have to allow God to just handle just that. Just trust if he knows that he, just trust that he knows what he's doing. Learn to embrace your emotions. They will help you to know when to react and not to react. You need to learn how to embrace grief and death because at this age, they played a big factor. You have to trust God and allow him to, you have to trust God and allow him to help you feel the emptiness because you don't want, wait, because if you don't, you will carry it to the age of 44 and make it difficult to feel what loss feels like. I feels like I may even, it may even hit you harder than you expect. Girl, I'm telling you to just love yourself and embrace where God is going to take you if you start at the age now. Just imagine how great you will be at the age of 44 and how easy it will be, how easy it will be to love, give love, and most of all, be loved. So walk in your stylish, lovable, fashionable African American queen that you are, and embrace what God um, has created you to be. I love you, and we got this.
Whew. Yo, first of all, you made it through.
You
Yeah.
got it
Oh my God,
done.
that was so powerful.
You got it done.
That
She
was
addressed
so
everything.
powerful. We've had so.
Everything.
Go ahead, Steve.
She addressed everything. I'm
16 was
proud of you,
hard.
sis.
16 was the year.
Cole, we've
Proud
had
of you.
so many conversations, but I learned so much about you in that letter.
Yeah.
I learned so much about you in that letter. That was powerful, Queen. That was powerful.
And this is the thing, this is the first time I ever really talked about my miscarriage. So it made me like, at the age of 16, and I'm 44 now, and I just dealt with that when I wrote that letter. That I really felt like I let that grief go because I never, even on my, when I had the miscarriage, I didn't cry. The doctors kept saying she needed to go through counseling. That's how hard it's been. He kept saying she didn't cry. I didn't.
It explains so much. Y'all, honor her right now by dropping some crowns in the comments. Jay said, I love you, sis. Drop
I
some
love you
crowns in
too,
the comments
sissy.
because you get the crown committed tonight that you
You
shared
do,
that.
honey.
And you didn't just
You do,
share it, you
honey.
shared it with everybody on here now who will watch
I'm
it
here.
later
Yeah.
and on YouTube. I'm so proud of you right now. I'm trying not to cry because I got to read mine. But you,
Yeah,
I
me
know
I
too.
I
kept
did not
reading.
be all up in here with it. I'm so proud of you. Mind blown.
I like every time I read that part because I lost a lot because I didn't grieve. I never grieved death. And to this day it's hard for me to process death. And a lot of people will be like, she should break. She should, and I don't. I just put it somewhere. I don't know. But writing this letter really helped me deal with that. I felt like one, it explained a lot about myself, why I go through what I go through, or how I feel the way that I feel.
How you process.
Yeah, and then it also took a weight off
Yeah.
because I don't. I mean, I don't. And Nikki ain't trying to do your shot at it, but I don't. Now I understand because I used to question like, what did you go through in your life that you're this way? And that was part of it. I never grieved. I don't. And that was the first time I ever grieved for my child. I got a tattoo
God.
that says my child's name on it, but I never grieved. My mom carried everything, all the burden, everything, signing papers, everything.
That's why you handle death the way you've been. I'm telling you, you and I have talked in the years some change. We've known each other, had some deep conversations, but I feel like I am learning you after reading that. And I want you, Nicole, when this is done, go back and read these comments that people are sending directly to you.
Yeah.
Go back and read
Yeah,
these comments. Wow.
I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you, girl. So
Yeah,
proud
because
of you.
at first I wasn't. When I was writing it and that came up, I was like, no, nah. That was so long ago. That's all I kept saying. That was so long ago. And
You're
then
gonna
I
be
kept
so
trying to find like different ages, like my party life in Atlanta. And God said, no, you need to speak to 16. And I was like, wow. So thanks, everybody. I see the hearts and the love. Thanks. I really. So anybody that's going through, write a letter to yourself. It's challenging, but
God
it
is
was
so
worth it.
good. Now I understand why we had to do this assignment. I want you to understand, I know what it's like to lose a child. I lost one between my oldest and my youngest. And the grieving process for that is different. That is different because you are grieving something that was here and is not. And it's weird, it's hard, it's painful. I hate that you did not up until now, but I'm so glad that you did and that you felt safe enough that now I can do this. And you got so much support. Like, I want you to read these comments when this is over, like for real, for real. I cannot.
Because the crazy thing is, a lot of people in my
first.
family didn't even know I was pregnant. I didn't tell anybody.
You're what?
A lot of people in my family didn't even know I was pregnant. I didn't even tell anybody. Only people I told was my mother, the father, and not even my siblings. The ones that was in the house with me knew. I didn't tell anybody.
I want to say something my mom said, and then you spoke what you just said at the same time, and my whole spirit is just jacked up. She goes, not grieving makes you so stagnant. It takes such a chunk of our lives. It's like holding your breath or our breath.
Yeah.
I'm encouraged to write a letter to myself. Girl, you didn't broke some chains. You about to have everybody breaking chains. Hallelujah. Okay, I can't. You gotta go because we can't.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on here like crying. Like we gotta like.
Really?
You gotta go.
I should have went first.
Yes, you should have. Yes, you should have. Oh,
this is jacked up. That's all I'm gonna
this
say.
is very jacked up.
This letter, oh Jesus. I should have went first.
Yeah.
This letter is to my 5-year-old self.
Oh.
This is after experiencing sexual abuse repeatedly and having to keep that secret. I should have went first.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot, Nicole.
Yeah. She just ushered him in here. I was sweet and mad. She just ushered him all the way through. Holy Spirit is settling right now. Go ahead, Nikki.
I said, hi, beautiful.
Mm.
I want to hold you and comfort you right now because there is so much that I want to tell you. Right now, I know you have so many questions going on in your heart after everything that's been happening. You're confused, you're hurt, you're angry at God, you're angry at everybody, and you've already started to lose yourself and your true identity. But Tanika, which is my real name for those that don't know, but Tanika, you're chosen. You've been chosen to do some great things in order to help other people. So you will go through some great things in order to help those people effectively. The pain will be excruciating sometimes, and you won't always understand it. But God has made you strong, and He will carry you through it all. God did not choose the act, but He will use it. There are a few things that I want you to always remember, and these things will strengthen you in this life's journey. Number one, don't ever forget who you are. You are beautifully made and you are always enough. Number two, don't ever determine your worth based on someone else's value or devaluing of you. You are everything that God says you are. You are everything that He's been telling you in your heart. And no matter what happens in this life, your worth and your value, and you are very valuable, but your worth and your value will not change. Number three, and this is very important, what they did and what they said and what happened is not who you are, nor is it who you will be.
Yes.
Forgive them because they were hurting, so they hurt you. I wish you could truly understand what I'm saying now because it will truly change. It will truly change and have a major impact on the decisions that you're going to make for a season of your life. But when you truly understand what I'm saying and you truly embrace this truth, your life is going to change drastically and your purpose will begin to unfold. Whew, I'm almost finished. Number four, keep reminding yourself that this is not a punishment. This will become your mantra. So will I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Number five, never stop dancing, never stop singing, never stop smiling, never stop believing, and never stop enjoying the beauty of these moments. And number six, don't ever forget God. Talk to Him about absolutely everything. You can trust God. I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but you can trust Him and how much He loves you and how much He cares for you. Yes, He did see it. He saw all of it and He cares. He will heal you and He will make you a mighty warrior because of it. Continue to bring joy, love, and help others all the days of your life. I love you and I'm rooting for you because 41 years later, you still got this. I'm done. Whew.
You did it! You did it! Whew. You did it.
All right.
What
Yeah.
about the one that you got in the sent to you? Are you reading that on live?
She read it last time.
Oh,
Yeah, we read that last week. That was from Queen Nee.
Me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Martha.
Nikki, that I got chills all the way to my toes, honey. I'm
That was hard to write. It was hard to read. And when we were, we had to decide what age we wanted to write to. There's so many different ages, but I was like, why not start from the time when you just lost yourself? The sexual abuse started a year prior too, but by the time I was 5, I just remember it's funny being that young, but going through life just wondering, so why am I here? Right. So that's the age that I chose to write to, because if I could go back, if I can quantum leap and talk to her and get her to understand some things, my life would be different. The only thing about it is I wouldn't be who I am today, and I would not be able to help the people that I help. So thank y'all for doing this assignment with me. Ladies, we put a lot of vulnerability in our hearts out there for the world, but I know there's so many people that are going to be helped because of that. I honor the two of you. I honor myself right now because that was not easy to write or to read. And we've been sitting with this for 3 weeks. So I'm like, Nicole, it's lifted. It's done. It is done. So final thoughts as we end the show, ladies. I think we just did a pour right there. So what are your
That was a
thoughts?
pour.
That
That
was
was a
before.
pour. That was a pour for sure. Uh, I'm just full right now. I'm really full once again. This is the second night in a row. Or third, I should say. I am full. Um, God has done a lot of restoration, a lot of reviving, and it's a beautiful thing to see. And I'm glad that we are part of this podcast where we can be vulnerable. And we're all at different stages of vulnerability with ourselves and learning about ourselves even more intimately so that we can grow into the purpose that God really has for us. And both of you have shared some very intimate things. Um, I'm so I'm a cry. I'm just so glad.
What was the last thing you said?
I'm so glad I'm a part of this. I I'm so glad. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause then I'm gonna be snotting and going on. Just uh Nicole, go. I'm done.
Girl, I was trying to keep my eyes watering. Um, what can you say? Um, this podcast, even your family, you make me feel like I am family. Like your aunt Elaine, like I love her. And Aunt Elaine, I told Sierra to tell you thank you for checking on me when during the storm, and she prayed. And even coming on today, I was just like questioning God about a lot of things. And I even questioned him about the podcast. And I was just saying, God, I feel like I'm not being fair to you all. And I and then it's like so much that's coming on my plate. And God was like, no, I got you here. Because even today, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to make it in time. Then I realized, I ain't got all my phones in front of me that I be having. And he made it away. And then I was like, oh my God, the letter. How I'm going to get the letter out of one phone without not being on the screen? And I needed it. And it's also, like I said, and I share with a lot of people that doing this podcast has taken a point where it makes me self-aware of myself, how I handle things, how I express myself, how I deal with a lot of things. And like I said, I just took a loss this week. A young lady passed away, and just talking to her an hour before, it's hard and it's unexpected. And we say, like my grandma used to say back in the day, these is our last days. And when we were young, we kept saying, it ain't our last days because we're like 20 years in now. But it is. And I question God, like, am I gonna be the next one to go? But I remember my granddad used to say, be ready. Because don't nobody know when it's their last time. So I think God is really helping me deal with myself and make me aware of this is our last days and you need to get it right. So I love you ladies. I love the QT family because you're my family and y'all are going through the process with me. So I know that I'm not alone. So, but this was much needed today.
If keep it all the way real and 100 were people, the three of us would be right underneath it in the dictionary or on the billboard. Um, we thank y'all for creating safe spaces for us to land when we're talking about our truths. Last week, I was being vulnerable about where I was emotionally and I wasn't okay. And the support, my inbox, the support was incredible. In the comments, it was incredible. Nicole sharing about something so vulnerable that she had not told anyone, she released tonight. Like, we appreciate y'all allowing there to be a safe space. Y'all tell us thank you. But we have to tell y'all thank you as well. You watch, you support, you share, you send us messages, you comment. And then when we are being real women, we're queens. Queens go through things sometimes. And we're being very real and vulnerable, and y'all are so supportive. So we thank you so very much for being the best family, audience, supporters, tribe that we could ask for. So we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And thank y'all for being gracious with all the technical issues that we had tonight. Yeah, the bloopers will be real. And we're going to start next week with the topic that we didn't talk about, and that's body positivity. We definitely want to hear from you guys on that. With that being said, I love the two of you. Thank you so much that we rocked this together, but we thank God above all for meeting us again where we were tonight. Y'all share this, please. Please share this with others. If y'all have not followed us on Instagram or on YouTube, please do so. It is at the Queens Takeover Podcast. We want to reach our first milestone of 100 subscribers, and you can help us do that. And it'll also help us get out to more people, because these are very important conversations. With that being said, ladies, we're done. I think we can end it on that. We don't even have to do the sign out unless you want to.
All right.
We're done.
I'm good.
All right.
We
love y'all so much. We will see y'all next Tuesday at 7 p.m. for the Queens Takeover
Love
Podcast.
y'all.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.